He is light years. He'll be so much better for you. He'll be light years better for you.
The thing is with Garnacho as well, we saw it when he first came into the team. He can turn up in big moments, like that Fulham game. He won us that Fulham game. Wolves near the end of, I think it was Ten Hag's first season. He won that game. Garnacho can turn up and win games in the big moments. Which, to be honest, if Chelsea's in like a 0-0 sort of game, they need one player to come off the bench. Because Garnacho was always better coming on against tired legs. We saw it a lot, especially against Man City at Old Trafford. He created that goal for Rashford. But yeah, I think Garnacho coming off the bench, where Chelsea would play him coming against tired legs, I think it'll be very good business for Chelsea.
Listen, I think Garnacho is really good for Chelsea. I've turned my mind. I can't believe I've changed my mind. I can't believe I've been converted to say that, you know what, he could be good business. And I only say that because having watched Chelsea on that left wing, remember I said this the other day on the last show, the wingers are all the same for Chelsea on that left wing. And that includes Mudryk. I take Mudryk out of it because he did actually start doing it, but he just lacked the confidence. The one thing I say that Garnacho is different is that if Garnacho's right-footed, he's going to show you I'm going to go on that right foot. But if I'm going to go on that right foot, I'm cutting in and I'm shooting. And against low block teams, this is actually essential. Because one of the things that Chelsea suffered with last season, and actually for the last few seasons, is the low block teams. And I always say the reason we have issues oftentimes with Chelsea is because we don't play the tiki-taka football necessarily. So you need to have somebody who can actually do something spectacular from a little bit outside of the range of the box, right? So someone from Garnacho is he's willing to take that. Listen, it's not about getting it every right all the time. It's you see, when you play football, it's not always getting it right all the time. It's not even that you always score. It's the fact that he's willing to do it. Which means that he has to only do it once or twice before you, Tom, in that defense, start asking questions like, okay, he's going to do it twice now. You got two choices. Step off and say, well, we'll let him shoot. Well, one day you're going to let him shoot, you're going to score. And then the next time he says, okay, you know what? We have to close him down. When you close him down, he opens space for someone else. So as I said about what I watched Gittins is not aggressive enough for me going down a channel and taking that man inside just yet. He hasn't got that art just yet. If he was, it'll be a no-brainer, but he isn't there yet. So when you're playing football and you have someone like Gittins, yes, he can take you on the left wing and take it down that way, but he needs to be able to cut across the defender aggressively in order to make this work, and then your end product be good. But if you're not doing that, then you need someone who's going to play on that left wing who can either going to cut inside, they're willing to take a shot. They're willing to take shots. They're willing to cut in and do something because that opens up the space. Now, if you play football, you know this. When people are watching football, they only think about the fact that he kicked the ball and went sky high. You don't realize that when you're playing defense, it does something to you as a defender, knowing that, okay, he's going to take a shot. How do we stop that player from doing that?
That requires the player who's cutting in and taking the shot to eventually be smart and cut in and play the pass. That's the part where you lose me on Garnacho as a player in this. If that's what you want to do, have him stand on the left, pick up the ball, drive at the man, cut inside, and then that creates space and he's either going to shoot or pass. I just think he's going to make the wrong decision every time.
Tom, you said it was a very simple game, so it's a very simple thing. Or he doesn't have to make the sexiest pass. No one's asking you to make a sexy pass into the defense. He's not that kind of player, right? There are many players like that.
But I just think
it's a simple pass. If you are on left wing, let's talk football. Let's not talk the screen stuff. Let's talk real football.
Yeah.
If you're on the left wing and you cut in, Garnacho does not need to play a sexy pass into the box. He only needs to open up space for the defender to come towards him and pass it even sideways. Now, I'm sure he can do that. He's a footballer. He can do that. It just requires a little sideways pass. We've got Caicedo there. I better take a shot. Maybe you can play another pass. Maybe they can pass it into the right wing. Whichever way, it opens up the space. So when someone's doing that, right, it changes the way that the team will play. I'm not saying that he's going to always play. I'm saying to you that he offers something completely different that at the moment on that left wing, we do not have. We actually don't have that.
But then, to play devil's advocate with that, you're saying you need this against low blocks. If you're doing this against low blocks where you want him to run and then cut inside and then lay it back off, what he's going to do when he cuts inside and play the simple pass sideways is he's going to the defender that you think is going to get dragged out will more often than not pass him to the midfielder that's ahead of him and go, you can deal with him then, and I'm going to sit there to make sure that overlap from the left back can't get through. My thing with Garnacho as a footballer, but then that's point because Garnacho as a footballer is flawed. Garnacho as a footballer for me makes the wrong decision more often than not. I think
again, when you
he's
say
flawed
when
in
you
his
when
decision
you
making.
when you
He makes the wrong decision.
hang on,
He needs
hang
to.
on.
He passes when he
Okay.
needs to shoot. He shoots when he needs to
Okay,
pass. Too many times.
That's hang on. What I will say this: he's got flaws to his game. That's why he's a 40 to 45 million pound first team squad member. He isn't. Again, what are 21 turning 22-year-old top wingers in the world going to cost you again now that they're 80, 90, 100 plus million? So one thing that's important is we had Aaron on Straight Facts last week, 2 weeks ago, and he was listing the Arsenal flops versus hits. And I was just trying to make sure, and I was asking this because viewers can get confused. He'll just go, no, I'm going to say where I think they're hits or they're flops. And I just wanted to ascertain whether he judges them all on the same, by the same standards, or whether or not he compartmentalizes it. So that's a squad player, that's a backup goalkeeper, that's a first team player, that's a star signing. I'll say hit or flop, but know that I'm categorizing them into that section. And I think it's easier for people to digest because you can be a backup player and a flop. Equally, some backups can come in and do a really good job. They're not setting the world alight. They're not getting nominated for Ballon d'Ors, but they've done a really good job for their price point and their squad status. And I think that's really important to remember with Garnacho. Chelsea are not buying him to be the star of their team. They're not dropping 120 million pounds on him. They're dropping around 40 million, which is going to be 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 below what you've seen the starters, the Alangas, the Mbumos, etc. go for. So the price point tells you that there is a flaw to his game, absolutely. On making the wrong decisions, where I'll defend him, along with defending the other United players that are leaving, like Scott McTominay, that's now just been nominated for the Ballon d'Or, and you'd have all said he was flawed and wouldn't work, is that when you join a team that's better organized and a club that isn't toxic, because I think we're fixing that at the club now, but he was part of that and involved in it, and I wouldn't blame him for that. The same as I never blame Pogba, I never blame Lingard, I never blame Fellaini all those years ago. There was a problem at the club. You remove him from that and put him in a better environment, in a team that makes less mistakes, in a team that's more organized and suits the way he plays. You are going to get bad decisions from him, but you get that from all players. Are you going to get more bad decisions from him compared to, say, a Mo Salah? Yes, I believe that Mo Salah is a superior player, but for 40 million, will he score? Will he assist a fair amount of goals each game? Yeah, and this guy this season for Chelsea across all comps will win them, as in terms of winning goal, at least 3 matches, which is a lot, by the way, to get that amount of winners. He'll win them 2 or 3 games from being a goal scorer. He'll come on for the last 20 minutes of games when they need someone to start shooting because they need a goal, and he's going to end up being someone that delivers. And over the course of 2 or 3 seasons, he is going to be worth that money. And we have to remember, this ain't 45 million 10 years ago when that was buying you world-class players. We're in 2025, 30 to 40. Broja just got sold for 25 million. Mm-hmm. Let's put this in. We have to put that context in on this. The price point is really, really important here. You know, Alanga, that most people go as a good player, went for 55 million. Mbumo, who is one of the closest things in the league you can get to Mo Salah, is 65 million. Mo Salah is, because of the commerciality as well, that's an 85 million pound player in his 30s. So I think we have to look at this. It's like the Šeško thing. People are like, oh, is Šeško going to do what Isak did? Well, Isak's valued at 150 million. Šeško just gone on for 66 million. They're not even valued in the same price range. So that has to play a part, in my view. The way we judge a 100 million pound player, got to be a lot of pressure on him. He's 100 million pound. Yet when a player's 40 million, we're like, it's just shit. He's just a squad player, isn't he? Yes, that's why he's not a 100 million pound player. So yeah, I think he'll do well personally. I think he'll do well.
I just look at the options that Chelsea have, and you've just bought Bino Gittins, who I think what you're describing, Garnacho, I think Bino Gittins can do. You look at Pedro Neto, who can play out on the left, and then that gives you your option of the quick man who can run down the line and put crosses in if you ever need that. And I don't know what's going on with young Tyreek George in terms of him, but I always thought he looked quite good when he played, and I thought he was going to be one that you gave a little bit of the benefit of the doubt to and tried to bring through over the next couple of years. Maybe Garnacho goes into Chelsea and he figures it all out, but I've just got to judge off what I've seen so far. He's got. I feel his decision making is very poor in big moments, in the key decisive points, and I just look at what you've got in the squad, and I don't see how he's necessarily an improvement on what you've got in the squad.
He's
and
not.
I feel that money could be put elsewhere.
He's not an improvement on the squad, but the thing is, he's that young. He's only turned 21. You got to think he's been around this shitty Man United squad. Like, let's be honest, like shitters surround themselves with more shit. And what's he going to be doing? Looking at flipping Rashford that's going out to like Germany and his clubs or whatever, or he's going to be now surrounded by players that are wanting to win, and he's going to develop and get better. I think don't judge him so much on where he is right now. I think he's going to develop a lot over the coming years. And 50 million, I don't think it's a bad price for him. He's still got a decent ceiling to go.
Adding on to that Garnacho point, a lot of since he's been in United, he's had problems with managers. Like look at the end with Ten Hag, at the start of Amorim. But the whole reason he's been under scrutiny is because United haven't had a consistent manager and consistent squad basically. So when he's around a more solidified area like Maresca at Chelsea, where Maresca is staying for probably a while, if we're being honest, he'll be able to I think develop, because at United he's been told to do a lot of different things, because from Ten Hag he was told to be a left winger, cut inside, whatever. When Amorim came in, he was told he was doing a completely different job. It's the point where that's the thing that's happened with a lot of Man United players as well. They're told to do different jobs. It was the same point we made with Belieber and Mania and stuff. But if he was to go to Chelsea, he'd have a set role, set position. And Maresca saying, "This is what I want from you." So I think it'll be a good deal with Chelsea, and also Garnacho will be. I don't think he won't be a big issue at Chelsea for that sort of area.
No, I agree. Brickman said that these Chelsea representatives have lost the plot on Garnacho. Scored a goal less, but by a top centre back. Score is what Britman says here. Marv says, Terry, the signings this window have been about the club first, not wages. I don't feel Donnarumma is that way. He seems to be about the player first. Well, that's about us assessing, because Donnarumma is not asking PSG for astronomical money. He's asking for between 160 and 190,000 pound a week. The stats for him don't look particularly great. I've literally seen all these Chelsea fans doing this sort of the spider graphs, and oh my God, Sancho's a lot better than him. But you've also got to understand, this is why these stats can be flawed. Well, Barcelona, PSG in their own league, look how much they have the ball compared to their opponents. So yeah, he isn't making as many passes. He's not doing as many interceptions and sweeper keeper actions in a game, because they're just games where they've got 80% of the ball and he ain't fucking doing anything. He's standing there with nothing to do. He might pull off one save in the game, and it's like, oh, he's not better. You get that with the defender stats. You see where people put the Premier League comparisons. Oh my God, look, Van Dijk's only made 10 clearances this season. Ben Mee's made 47. He's much better. Well, that's because he's defending more. I don't like those kind of things. Is he about the player first? Well, I trust the people making our football decisions. If they're sitting down with him, they're debating with him, they're talking to him, and he only cares about the money and bonuses and when the money's going to go up, when the money goes down, and it's not about the team and the projects and how we're trying to play football and what we're looking to do, then we walk away from it. Then, yeah, I would agree. And let's see what we do. I think we'll make the right decision.